What would you do if someone shoved the camera inches from your face without asking? In 2020, this man's aggressive style cost him a dream sponsorship with one of photography's biggest brands. But was he actually doing anything wrong? Today, we're diving into the story of Tatsuo Suzuki, the man who became both famous and infamous for getting uncomfortably close to his subjects. And I mean really close. This is the camera Fujifilm gave him right before they took it all away. Let's find out why. Now here's what's wild. Tatsuo Suzuki wasn't always the intense street photographer that we know today. For 20 years, he was just another Japanese salaryman working at Fujitsu, trapped in the corporate grinds just like millions of other people. But Suzuki also had another life. At night, he traded his suit for leather and played guitar in punk rock bands. Now, most photographers start young, but Suzuki didn't pick up a camera until he was 43 years old. Think about that. He started his photography journey when most people are settling into their careers. In his own words, "The Japanese salaryman system crushed me. Photography became my scream." The turning point came when he studied under Daido Moriyama, one of Japan's photography legends. Moriyama taught him that photos don't need to be technically perfect. They just need to be real, from the heart. But Suzuki wasn't just content to just copy his mentor. He was about to add something that would make him famous and controversial. What makes Suzuki different isn't his gear or his post-processing, it's his approach. While most street photographers try to blend in, Suzuki does the opposite. He gets right into people's personal space. His technique is almost choreographed. Spot a subject, move in fast, shoot from chest level at a super close range. We're talking less than 2 feet, half a meter away, and then move on before they can react. The results are undeniably powerful. Raw emotions, unfiltered expressions, a genuine slice of humanity. But at what cost? You can see the DNA of other famous street photographers in his work. The gritty black and white from Moriyama, the compositional instincts of Robert Frank, and the confrontational approach of Bruce Gilden. Though Gilden uses a flash and Suzuki relies on natural light. Technically speaking, his process is straightforward. A Fujifilm X100 series camera like this one, silent shutter mode, shooting from the chest level to catch people unaware, and heavy contrast in post-processing to create that dramatic look. But what separates Suzuki isn't technical skill, it's courage, or audacity, depending on your perspective. In early 2020, Fujifilm was launching their new X100V camera, a street photographer's dream, and they chose Suzuki as one of their brand ambassadors and featured him in a promotional video. That's where everything fell apart. The internet exploded. People called his methods harassment, intimidation, even predatory. Others defended him as a true artist, continuing a long tradition of confrontational street photography. Let's talk about ethics and legality here, because it gets complicated. In countries like the US and the UK, photographing people in public is generally protected as free expression. But in Japan, there's Article 13 of their constitution, which some courts have interpreted as prohibiting embarrassing portrayals, even in public spaces. The most important thing to understand is that while street photography isn't automatically illegal in Japan, photographing people in compromising or embarrassing situations significantly increases legal risk. These cases typically result in civil damages rather than criminal charges, but they can still be serious. Beyond the law, there's a cultural context. In Japan, the concept of sekente, social reputation and public face, is incredibly important. Having someone capture your unguarded moments could feel especially invasive. 3 days after releasing a promotional video, Fujifilm removed all traces of Suzuki from their website. They never officially explained why, but the timing made the reason obvious. So was Fujifilm right to drop him? That's where photographers remain divided. Supporters say his work reveals authentic human emotion. Street photography has always been confrontational. Look at Gary Winogrand, Bruce Gilden, or Ouija. And his subjects remain anonymous. He's capturing moments, not exploiting individuals. While critics argue there's a difference between capturing public moments and manufacturing reactions by invading personal space. His approach particularly affects women and vulnerable people, and just because something is legal doesn't make it ethical. I think it's also worth noting that the Fujifilm video that caused so much controversy only showed one side of Suzuki's approach. It highlighted his most aggressive techniques without showing how he sometimes interacts with subjects. There's actually another video by Samuel Streetlife on YouTube that paints a more nuanced picture. It shows Suzuki as a fun and engaging photographer with a range of styles. I'd recommend checking out his video after this one to get a more complete understanding of his process. Suzuki himself really addresses the controversy directly, but in one interview he said, "My photos aren't pretty. Life isn't pretty." And that's the dilemma at the heart of street photography. Is the resulting art worth the momentary discomfort of the subjects? Do photographers have special rights to document reality, or are there lines that shouldn't be crossed? Since the Fujifilm controversy, Suzuki has continued shooting his way. His photographs still win awards, feature in galleries, and sell as books. The debates around his methods haven't stopped his art from resonating with people. So what can we learn from Tatsuo Suzuki? Maybe it's this: great art often happens at the boundaries of comfort. But as photographers, we each need to decide where our personal ethical lines are, and whether crossing them is worth the image that we might capture. So what do you think? Is Suzuki's approach justified by his results? Or should street photographers always prioritize subject comfort? Let me know in the comments below. Now, if you found this interesting, hit subscribe for more photography stories that make us question what we do and why. Thanks for watching. You've been amazing.